Welcome to this Reiki healing. I'm Quantum. I am light. If you're open to receiving this Reiki healing, just say I accept. Before we start, I ask that the viewer do a time shift to the time space 10 p.m. And as well, we start this off with a 5-5-5 breathing or a 5-5-5-5 breathing. So we breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Now breathe in again for 5 seconds. Exhale all what does not serve you, all fear, stress, and anxiety. Exhale it. There you go. Now we're grounding our energies into Mother Gaia. And continue to breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. And hold for 5 seconds. Continue to do that while I proceed to do this Reiki healing, just so you can bring yourself into balance, and that way you can help me as well. Because when you're focusing on your breathing, it helps build the egregore, so whoever enters the video will be able to breathe in easier, because we have someone in the background helping, assisting with the vibration by having controlled breathing. Use a little bit of the selenite. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Shifting brain waves into a alpha state. I will not talk about politics on this channel. He is clearly just having a conversation with himself in the comments. Dig it. Remember to breathe in once more deeply. This time we're going to hold a little bit longer, so we're going to breathe in for 8 seconds if you can. Hold 5, and then exhale 8 seconds. Ooh, there's turkeys over there. Now we're focusing on cords that does not serve our highest good. And we're just going to remove those cords, visualizing them being placed into a bucket, being transmuted into light instantly. There we go. I do not speak hatred on anyone. That is not what this channel is about. Please don't bring other people's problems into a space of healing. Thank you. I said we do not crucify anyone for their actions because we do not know what type of actions we may have committed towards another being in another lifetime or this lifetime. So it's not up to us to judge and condemn, because the only one you judge and condemn will be your own self. Anyway, moving out of that topic, letting that go. Release and let go all what does not belong. And allow what we deserve, which is unconditional love, balance, clarity, and understanding. Letting go confusion, back into balance. weightless balance. You are very welcome. Another crystal over here. Remember to breathe in. I can feel it. Breathe in. We want deep breaths. You don't want to have a shallow breath because shallow breath leads to multiple health issues, anxiety and fear, stress. You want to breathe in deeply and fully. I know it's hard at first, breathing in deeply. I remember myself a year and a half ago thinking, how could I consciously be breathing all the time and be aware of it? But the more you practice, the more you become aware of it. And I already know right after this video, it's like every time I make a video explaining what I do, then that's when the test meter of what I say gets turned up to like 1,000. So if I say that I stopped doing this, then as soon as I get out the video, the next 3 days is nothing but hardcore testing if I really do that. So everything I say, I know that right after the video, it's gonna be amplified by 10,000 that I have to do it. So now I'm gonna have to walk it. Remember that you're only speaking of yourself. So thank you for the compliments. I'm not overlooking it. I I appreciate it. It is kind of rare for me because I never really have anyone compliment me. So I don't really think about it. I'm always focusing on the energy, not really the physical form, because this is just an avatar. So I try not to get too attached to him. Our physical body is like a robot that has a consciousness, and we're like the soul that's around it. So sometimes the physical body will try to speak, or it tries to surpass the soul, which is that can really happen. He said positive thoughts are cleansing to the soul. Yes. That's all I can say is yes. Whenever, and healing to the mind. I had a very funny dream just before I got on this live. So somehow I found myself like in a house, and there was this person who was telling everybody around the table how he tricked me into me giving his energy, and I literally got up from where I was in a dream, walked to the table and sat down in front of them, and then I started explaining to them how no one can take energy, and as I explaining to him how he healed himself, and all he did was just match my vibration. And then they was all looking at me at the table. Then I got up and I just walked away. It was funny. I'm glad I can reignite the flame within inside your heart to cause the evolution of your soul or assist the evolution of your soul. I have we are all going through many changes together because we're not the same person that we are yesterday or tomorrow. Whoa. Release all what does not serve. Identify what does serve and allow that to enter. Stillness, peace. So, yesterday I was thinking about Azrael, the angel of death, and I was thinking, well, death means the ending of a cycle and the beginning of something new, a transition. So, I was asking Azrael to like assist me in bringing a death to the ending of a cycle, like an old energetic pattern, like an old belief system. And then I asked Archangel Michael for the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray is the beginning of like breaking off a cycle. So like a cycle is going around and around in a circle. Yes, Archangel Michael to break that circle and move to the next. So I not use I work with co-create with Azrael and then Archangel Michael, and then I go to Archangel Ariel for the green ray, which is solutions. Then I go to Archangel Uriel for the root, because the red ray. And then I ask Archangel Zachiel for the violet ray to cleanse it. Now we just put this one. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in deeply, starting from the base of the feet. And as you breathe in, just trace around your body in a loop. And exhale, but a loop going around the arms. Feel stiffness in the arms. It's like most of the viewers, I can feel that you have stiffness right here, neck. Someone has pain on their the left leg near the hip. Another pain right here in the lower heart area. And another pain, where is it? In the left ear area. So I ask at all these points, I ask my guardian angels to clear these points that I have mentioned. And I'm now standing at the end of the mountain, asking the guardian angels to remove the baggage and the weights off our shoulders, off the left jaw. Thank you. You can see how the energy is like pushing on me, and my words are like slurring because it feels like a wrecking ball, like an energetic wrecking ball. Like imagine if you got punched in in the mouth, but it's energetically. So you just gotta move it off, breathe in, breathe out. It is almost like when whoever enters the video, it is like your body is overlaid over top of mine. And then what happens is this is just empathy, or it's because we're all in this connected together. So a lot of times the pain that you feel may not even be your own. It could be coming from someone else, or it could be coming from whoever's watching the video together. So just don't identify it yet. I am not master. Not yet. I am still the student. I have a long way to go. I don't want to trick myself into thinking that my walk is done because it's far from it. I'll say it is literally just beginning. I'm just beginning. But and technically evolution never ends. It only starts and never ends. Now sometimes when I end the stream, I forget to return the energy back, like give everyone's aura back to them, and I end up end up leaving the video but still feeling my viewers' emotions. So like imagine someone's watching my video and then they have something negative, or they feel something negative, or they disagree. I feel their disagreement. I'm like, oh shoot, this must be coming back from the old video. So like even when the video is off, when someone's watching the video and like they're really having a strong emotion, sometimes that emotion bleeds off into me, like I'm just walking through my normal part of the day and I'm like, oh, where's all this energy coming from? I'm like, oh, I'm just receiving what I put out, because it's an equal reaction to what I put out. So every word I say, it comes back. Yep, always fine tuning. That's what makes it fun to be on planet Earth. Because in the higher dimensions, if you're already perfect, there's nothing really new to learn about yourself. So you come back to Earth and learn, relearn who you are from imperfect, because we're perfectly imperfect on Mother Gaia. Come back and relearn from a different perspective who we are. How I see it, we're literally in a video game, but in this video game, it's the most realistic video game that you ever see. And the rules is your free will is like wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. We know that, but also there's different illusions that happen. So this is how like it goes for both ways. So you see something good, and if you focus on it, then it becomes real. Same thing with darkness. So, like, if you see something super negative and super bad, and what the darkness do, it likes to play on your feelings so you think it's real. So, if you see the darkness and you be like, oh, that's real, then it materializes real. So, imagine if darkness, like, if it was a ghost, like, it was Michael Myers, but he was a ghost, and you looked at him and you'd be like, oh, that's just an illusion. But then he would stab, but he would go right through you and do no damage. But if you see the ghost and you be like, oh my god, this is real, then he becomes real, like 3D, and then he does damage. That's basically how it is, from my perspective. So if you see all these dark energies and they're all like trying to scare you and stuff, but you look at them and be like, oh wait, it's just an illusion. Then they just go right through you. And when I mean go right through you, that's the feeling, that's the emotions. So you feel it, you feel all that fear energy, and like, oh, it's just an illusion. Then it passes through you like a phantom. But if you feel all the fear energy and like, oh my god, this is real, then it does damage. So it's all about choosing what is real for you and what is not. Because everything around us is empty props. And our gift is that we give life meaning. So we choose what we want to give meaning to. So if there's something negative, if we give meaning to it, then it becomes negative in our reality. But if we see something positive and we give meaning to it, then we attract more positive. And the more positive that we attract, the scales start to get heavier and heavier on the light side. So the dark start to fall away and the light starts to get heavier and heavier. So heavier. I was going like it starts to go away. Darkness starts to go away and light gets heavier now. Emotions. Because emotions have weight to it. Thoughts have weight to it. You can have a light thought. A thought that is light makes you feel more light, more flexible, more able to move smoothly. And when you have a heavy thought, like a negative thought, you get more tense. Your range of motion gets tense because the emotions also affect your body. So if you have a whole bunch of like negative emotions, you start to get stiff. You start to move like really stiffly. Like I see people when they move like really stiff, like they're barely moving the joints, just like stiff, like robotic. But when you go into a light filled state of being, you start to get lighter, become lighthearted. You do not take things to heart. After, so basically, like, it's memory and the random. Yep. Like we had a set plan, but soon it's like we're a spirit. And we writing down and say, "Ooh, we want this to happen. We want this to happen. We want this to happen." And then sometimes our soul will be like, "Oh, if we suffer, we learn more," but that's not really true. But the soul thinks that we have to suffer to learn more, but we really don't. And so until the soul learns its lesson that no, you don't have to suffer to evolve. Once you get into that, once you like learn that, you start to raise up in vibration. No, wait a minute, we don't have to suffer to evolve, but we can go into challenging situations to evolve. But it doesn't mean we have to suffer through it. We can go through challenging situations, but only pick the positive out of it. Like we can be, I say we're selective eaters. We only eat high vibrational energy. We don't eat low vibrational energy. We produce high vibrational energy because that is what your soul eat, the soul food. Very insightful take on how to deal with fear and emotions. Yes. It is my own perspective on how it is. Looking at it as just one big game and start to see how funny the darkness really is. The dark energy, because like I say, "Oh, what little games will they try to play with me today?" And let's see. I said, "I'll just play along." I'm gonna be like, and now when something like fear energy coming, like, ooh, scary. Now, let's see what the next trick is gonna do. I'm like, how is it going to try to outsmart me today? Because now it's kind of like, imagine if someone is trying to do a magic trick, someone trying to do a sleight of hand, and they're trying to confuse you and trying to trick you, and they're like, guess where the coin's at? Guess where the coin's at? But the whole entire time, you can see right through their hands because you have X-ray vision, and you see where their coin's at the whole entire time. But you're just playing like, oh, you got me. I don't know where it's at. Oh, wait a minute, it's right there. So it's something like that. And also, it really helps you because the more the darkness tries to confuse you, the more you start to use your psychic abilities to understand what is happening. So it's a win-win because they're like teachers, and they're teachers in their own way. Because the more they push you, to try to push you off, the more you realize how strong you really are. They help me understand how powerful I really am. Because we are all powerful souls. We are not beginner souls, we are highly advanced souls. And some of us, we just choose the wrong path, but we're going back. Because no one on this planet has walked a straight path. Some of us, we walked and we got deviated into the dark. Then we got launched back into the light. Then we slowly deviated again. And then we went back and went like this. So we're constantly moving back and forth. But primarily, we're like 51, like 51%. So even that 1% is enough to triumph over the dark energy. That 1%. And then we slowly move. And usually when you wake up, you naturally go into 51% because the universe is biased towards light. So it's always going to be a little bit more. Breathing in deeply, but focusing on the sacral chakra, breathing in up. Because the breathing is shallow again. So we're going to breathe in 5 seconds in. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. It's very interesting. So like imagine like if we was all overlaid on top of each other, and if we're like shallow breathing, but then when I say everybody breathe in for 5 seconds, you can literally feel how easier it is for all of us to breathe at the same time for 5 seconds. So like if it was just me and I didn't say anything, I'm breathing, it takes me harder to breathe in. But when I say everybody breathe in deeply, and when I mean everybody, it's not just everybody. I know it's not just the 13 people who's watching. It is everybody who's watching this video in all space time. That's who I'm talking. I'm talking to everybody who watch it at this exact point in time. That's why I can literally say that even when there's nobody watching the video and it will still happen. So breathe in 5 and then exhale. That's what I mean by the egregore. A little bit of resistance on the left hand, left wrist, bringing light to the left wrist, circling. Always cleanse your informational field. Always be aware of your informational field because sometimes if you don't pay attention to it, what happens is imagine it's like you're like a bubble, like your information field is a cocoon, and sometimes they have tears in it. And what happens sometimes is other people can sense the tears, and what they do is they fill the tears up. They fill it with their energy, all their emotions and stuff in it, and then you're unaware of the tear that's in the informational field, but you're constantly trying to keep everything together, like hold yourself in, like like when you have insecurities of any sort, any type. What you're doing is you're holding your information field in, and but what other people is doing is they're unloading their baggage into your informational field. So what happens is you're holding everything in, but also you're getting weighed down. So you're holding all the baggages, and then other people is walking by and taking their baggages off their shoulders and placing it on your shoulders. And the more they place it on your shoulders, then it manifests as a physical pain. So your neck physically start to hurt, like you're getting weighed down. Your back start to hurt because energetically, it's all that energetic weight being placed on your shoulders. So what we're doing right now is we're standing up with our shoulders back, and we're taking off all the backpacks that everybody has placed on them and dropping them. You can over exaggerate if you want. You can drop them. You can see them slam into the ground, or you can drop them and see them just turn into dust. And then your shoulders, you'll be able to breathe in. Most people have no clue how much of their lives are spent on negative thinking. It's about how to be mindful in the words spoken, and these words can activate thoughts into reality. I feel that like I'm after I read it, I'm feeling the energy so I can understand. Yes. So much of so much of the health issues that we have comes from what we think about. That is why I'm like I seen a surge of people saying their self-diagnosis. And then what happens is I start to see other people coming in. It's like, oh, I had that same diagnosis. Unconsciously, they don't know that they're now creating an egregore of having that problem. So now they're all collectively sharing that problem. Like I have nothing against people when they say it, but yes, you can say you have it, but don't subscribe to it. So like if someone say, I have ADHD, I have schizophrenia, I have this label, I have this label, and they don't know that the more they say I have, then they're manifesting having that. But they're thinking that they think saying that they have it is gonna make it go away. But you're just asking for more of it. So the first step is do not identify with any of these man-made subscriptions and boxes they made for these symptoms. I see all those are just unmastered gifts. There are superpowers that have not been mastered yet. Because when they place a label, I have this, I have schizophrenia, I have ADHD, I have this disorder, this problem. It's like no, I have this ability, this gift that's coming up. Imagine like it's the gift underneath, but the gift is pushing the negative belief system up. So before the gift comes up, you have to clear off the negative belief system off the top, brush it off, and then the gold comes up. The nugget comes up, and then it expands. Yes, they have not been given the proper guidance. So I had nothing against them. It's just like they're doing it unconsciously because the same thing almost happened to me when I went into like a therapy. They were trying to diagnose me with this and that and the next thing, and I was like, no. I said I don't believe it because I know that there's nothing wrong with me. That's the first thing I said. I said I know there's nothing wrong with me, and I know there's more than just what they're trying to tell me what's wrong with me. So I said no. I threw it to the side. I said I'll figure it out. No one else is going to tell me that I have an issue because they're trying to say that you have a problem. You don't have a problem. You just have an unmastered gift. And once you learn how to balance your gift, then it starts to emerge. The best thing you can do for those people is this only to send light because light, when you just send the vibration of unconditional love and light, that light is like a clarity. It washes over their perception so they can be able to see more of the truth, so they can see their power that they really have, because usually those people who have those abilities are extremely powerful souls, and they're so powerful that some of their superpowers are starting to tear open before all the other ones. So it's like one of their abilities is it's still active. Even though all the darkness is thrown on them, their ability is still functioning. It's still functioning. So like imagine like the third eye, their third eye is super open, and like imagine like they're wrapped in all the dark energy that other people have been throwing on them, but their third eye is still open and it's still trying to see the light, but it's overlaid with like a black plastic bag over it, so it can't see clearly. So when you send them light, send the people who's going through a lot of the depression and stuff, but you send the light to their higher self. Because be be very careful. Don't just look at someone. I learned this the hard way. Like if someone asks you, "Oh, my relative is going through a whole bunch of pain and depression and a whole bunch of issues. Can you send them light to them for me?" And for them, they don't understand. They be like, "Oh, they're just sending them energy," but you don't understand that it's an equal exchange. So, like, if you're sending energy to modify another person's how they live, what happens is, oh yeah, it may work, but it's an equal exchange. So what happens is you take on their illness, and then they take on your healed. So you don't want to do that because then you can end up getting sick. So what you want to do, you only want to donate divine grace and love light to their higher self, and then their higher self will distribute it to them little by little. But I won't say directly just go up into the person without their permission because you take on their problems. You don't want to take on their problems because I did that before, and doing that, it put me it decommissioned me for a while. So I stopped posting as much because I imagine doing the Reiki videos, but then also since I was not clearing my energy, end up taking on everybody's um emotional stress at the same time. So it needs to be balanced because that's not fun. And just recently, because I thought I was getting attacked, but I wasn't getting attacked. It was just a belief system. What happened was I was still my energetic body was still attached to my viewers, or not just my viewers, but also the people who be saying like negative wishes of me, my energy was still attached to them. So I was still feeling their hatred of me. So I was like, oh, so I need to start to, when I'm done, let go in light and return in light and surround in light and call my energy back. Just small lessons that I am learning. And I know the more I say this, the more I'm going to have to walk it the next few days. And no, that's actually a good thing because I get to test myself. Do I really believe what I talk about? I say that's how like spirit tests me. It's like, you know, everything you say in these videos that we're going to test you to the max because you said it. It said we're going to hold you to your word. I'm like, yes, I hear you, spirit. I'm ready. And I know I have been speaking a lot, so get back into the Reiki. Focusing on the heart chakra, beaming the pink ray energy into the heart. Pink and green spirals into the heart chakra. Feeling the heart, feeling the energy flows through the heart. And I would say connecting to all the blood vessels because that is where all the chi flows. So flowing all the energies through the blood vessels of balance, radiance, and as it flows to the body, all the stress is now leaving and is collecting to the left. And now taking all the rest of the residue, placing it into the basket, the guardian angels transmute into light. Yeah, I was planning to do it last night, but I was like, do I really want to do a Reiki video before I go to sleep? Because then I might have to deal with all that just before I go to sleep. And I really like being in my own dream when I go to sleep. So I was like, I just wait until the morning. Yes. That's why the more you improve into your spirituality, the more consciously aware you become of how your words affect people and how your thoughts affect people. Because it's not just words, it's the thoughts, but also the feelings behind the words and thoughts. So like the feeling behind it. So like if someone says something in the comment section, I'm not looking at the words. I'm looking at the feeling behind the words. So as I'm reading it, it's passing through my heart. And whatever vibration, so like if you had a very joyous and loving feeling and you wrote a comment in the words, when I read it off, it passes through my heart and then I feel that joy. But if a person say something like a compliment, but in but in the compliment, in their feeling they had like jealousy or hatred, or they really didn't like it, but they still said it. They said the words nicely, but the feeling from their heart was the opposite. I listen to what the heart say, not what the words say, because the words that's the mind. You listen to the heart first, then words, not words, then heart, because it can be positive, but it can be negative, but disguised in positive words. So you want to You read from the heart first, then just listen to the heart, because someone could be saying something nice, but if your heart is racing and you feel anxiety, I immediately throw everything what they're saying out the window, because I listen to the heart, not the mind. So that's why I'm not trying to be like rude, but I'm like when I'm reading the comments, I'm specifically looking for the words. And I'm not saying everything is negative, but when you write a word, when you're writing, every word is imbued with the feeling behind it as you write. So like when you're reading a book, if you read the book not through your mind but through the heart chakra, you can feel exactly as the reader felt. So the person describing how you felt, how he has felt, describing to the book, you feel at the same time. So exactly as I'm speaking, when I say something negative, or I start speaking of something negative, you feel it. As when I switch my consciousness to something positive, you also feel it at the same time. Because right now, all of our emotions are shared. Yes, I say it's a gift that we all have. It's just it takes time clearing the heart, because a lot of times the heart chakra is it has all that gunk on top of it. So until we start forgiving and letting go all that gunk off the heart, then the heart starts to get paired with the mind. So when the heart and mind gets connected, then you start to perceive that the heart and mind connection, because the heart perceives through the feeling and the mind perceives through the thought. So when you have them paired, then when you read the words, you feel and read at the same time. So it's like you're feeling up and down the scale. Even right now, I feel in my heart, like I can feel the viewer. It's like this it's like was it inner sadness? It's like grief and like sadness, and it's like you can hear the person's inner state. Like someone's they can be completely silent on their face, smiling, but you can hear their heart crying. Like you can feel the heart chakra crying, because you start to feel your own heart like shivering. It's like shivering, like the heart's cold, cold, that cold sensation. So you like warm up the heart. So I ask my guardian angels to surround the heart chakra and light, give the heart chakra a loving hug, fill it with warmth, fill the heart chakra with warmth, loving, forgiveness, balance, telling the heart chakra thank you for supplying my body with the energy and allowing me to feel, giving thanks to the physical heart, having gratitude for the organ that's in our body. Because also, the organs are like, they're almost like separate consciousness, but merged with the whole inside your whole entire body. So sometimes it's just the physical heart speaking to you. I'm grateful for you to heart and my body, to the heart cells. Thank you. I'm grateful. I see you. And I send unconditional love and light to you, to the physical heart. I set the intention to clear off all cords and attachments to you. I fill you with the pink ray. Yes, never be afraid to ask for help. But the best help you will get, it will not be from another human. It will be from spirit. That's why it is very important to build a connection with your spiritual masters and angelic realm, because they don't see the physical form, and they know where the cause came from, because they was with you when it happened. Because how the spirit knows, they're already inside you. They already feel everything you feel. Every emotion that you feel, they feel it and then they record it. So when you ask about an emotion that you feel in your body that is causing you pain, they go into the Akashic records and go right back into the origin point of where that emotion was created. And then they can help you eliminate it from the origin point. But when you go to a human, um, the process takes longer, because now they go back into, okay, they had to backtrack. Okay, how this happened? Okay, how this happened? Okay, this how this happened. But when you go into your own higher self and spirit, you're like, oh, this emotion, it happened right here in your lifetime, right here. You want to eliminate this? Okay, eliminate this. We take that out, and now the whole entire front timeline clears, whole entire back timeline clears. So the process is way faster, because they was there the whole entire time. They know exactly what you need. You don't even have to explain to it. You just start saying, I like to work on this emotion. I like to identify and understand the lessons, what caused this, and how I can let it go. And you say, I ask for assistance in letting it go. And I make a promise to myself that now at this point in time that I'll be a completely different person, and I choose consciously to let this go and allow what does need to serve me to enter, and just let it go. The best therapist is your own self, working with your own higher self. Because unless the human reached a master level like Sananda or Buddha and then came back to the earth to teach you, then I'd say they'd be truly qualified. But like, nothing against therapists, they serve their purpose and they help. But the only way to truly, truly do it is by going. They can help you. They can help you just like I can help you get into the state. But when it comes to doing the internal work, that's when the angels, that's when the spirit guys come in, because they're all already internal. So like, what I can do is like, I help you get into that mindset, that state, and then what you do is then that's when you go in and then you ask your spiritual masters to come down and to help you. Because I only provide the healing space. Spread that out. Okay, so it has been an hour and it's almost time for me to work. Ooh, it's fast. So what I'm gonna do is, dear Source Creator, I ask for a translucent white ray of light to unfold and lift our vibrations to the highest vibration, so we can experience our inner being in light and unconditional love. I am now letting go all what is not mine and returning it in light. I am now giving you back your informational field. I'm now calling back all of my energy back into my being. I'm surrounding you in the gold ray of light. Thank you for this co creation of healing. Thank you for listening to me today. I am grateful. I love everyone in all space time unconditionally. Sending the pink ray, the green ray, and the gold ray. May your day or night be filled with light. Namaste. Thank you.